The answer is no. It is not permissible to run 483 phase and 120 volts from different sources through the same junction boxes, even if they are in separate conduits. The National Electrical Code, specifically Article 110.3b, mandates that different voltage systems originating from different sources must be kept electrically isolated from one another. This separation is essential for preventing electrical shock hazards and other dangerous conditions. Mixing different voltage systems, even with separate conduits, within the same junction box poses several risks. Firstly, there is an electrical shock hazard. If the insulation on any of the conductors were to fail, a person could come into contact with a live conductor carrying a voltage they are not expecting, resulting in a potentially lethal electric shock. Secondly, a ground fault hazard exists. A ground fault in one voltage system could potentially cause a voltage surge or transient on the other voltage system. This surge could damage equipment connected to either system and create a dangerous environment. Thirdly, there is the risk of equipment damage. Running different voltage systems through the same junction box can lead to equipment damage. If there were a fault or short circuit in one system, it could affect the other system and damage connected equipment. To safely install both 483 phase and 120 volt systems from different sources, it is imperative that they be installed in completely separate conduit systems, utilizing separate junction boxes. Each system must have its own dedicated disconnect switch for safely isolating the power. Each system needs its own overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers or fuses, to protect against short circuits and overloads. Each system must have its own independent grounding system to ensure that any fault current can safely return to its source. The core principle here is electrical isolation. Maintaining separate systems prevents the potential for dangerous interactions between different voltage levels. The National Electrical Code prioritizes safety, and the separation of voltage systems is a crucial aspect of safe electrical installations. Consider an example scenario where you have a manufacturing facility. The 480 volt three-phase system powers heavy machinery, while the 120 volt system powers lighting and general purpose outlets. If these systems were to share junction boxes, a fault in the machinery could send a surge back into the 120 volt system, potentially damaging computers, lighting fixtures, and other sensitive equipment. Moreover, the risk of electrical shock to personnel working on or near these systems would be significantly increased. Therefore, adherence to the National Electrical Code's requirements for voltage separation is not merely a suggestion but a mandatory safety practice. It is essential to consult with a qualified electrical contractor to ensure that all installations are performed correctly and in compliance with local and national codes. Neglecting these requirements can have serious consequences, including property damage, injury, and even death. In summary, never combine different voltage systems from different sources in the same junction box. Always maintain electrical isolation through separate conduits, junction boxes, disconnects, overcurrent protection, and grounding systems. This practice ensures the safety of personnel, protects equipment, and prevents potentially catastrophic electrical events. The National Electrical Code exists to provide a standardized framework for safe electrical installations, and its requirements must be followed diligently.